In this tutorial, we are making a professional looking logo animation in After Effects. This will be an animation made of scattered, exploded logo pieces. Let's get started. After opening After Effects, the first thing we need to do is transfer our logo. After transferring the logo, I animate it. Next, I create a new composition by clicking the New Composition button. I write Main for the title and create a 5-second composition, 9020 by 1080 in size, with a black background color. We will change this color later, and I click OK. The composition is now created. I transfer the logo and reduce its size by pressing the S key on the keyboard. An appropriate size is achieved. After resizing, I right-click on the logo and select Pre-Compose. This transfers the logo to a new sequence. We can name this sequence in the title section and from the available options. Select and click OK. A new sequence is then created. We can access the logo itself by entering this sequence, but we will make some edits through this sequence. Now, we need to first separate this sequence to animate it. We need to separate the moving animation. We need to separate the part that will be a particle and then the part where the particle is combined. For example, at 120, with the logo layer selected, I press Ctrl-Shift-D, which is the shortcut for split layer. When you press Ctrl-Shift-D on a layer, the timeline splits into two. I then go back 5 frames by pressing Page Up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gone back 5 frames. So I'm now at 115. I drag the top layer to align with 115. Here, as our particle merges, the logo will suddenly appear. First, we implement the particle effect. For this, we need to open the effects panel. If you don't see this panel, make sure to check Effects and Presets under the window menu. I type CC Ball Action in the search box and this effect appears. I drag this effect over the first part of the sequence. When I drag it, we will see the properties of that effects in the Effects Control panel. I adjust these options to fragment the logo. To make these particles smaller, I change the grid spacing from 5 to 2. As you can see, the logo now has smaller pieces. To reduce frequency, I adjust the ball size to 50. I also change the twist value from the x-axis to random. I move the timeline cursor to the far left and create a keyframe. Creating a keyframe means adding animation and movement to the logo. I click the icons next to Scatter and Twist Angle to create these keyframes. If you press the U key with the logo layer selected, you can also view these keyframes. Now, to complete this movement, I bring the timeline cursor to the last frame. I reset the values for twist angle and scatter to 0. As you can see, we have achieved this effect. We want the animation to start with opacity not instantly visible. I select the bottom logo layer and press the T key to access the opacity property. In the 10th frame, I create an opacity keyframe and set the value to 0. To advance 10 frames, I press Shift Page Down and set the opacity value to 100% at the 20th frame. We also need to gradually reveal the top logo layer for a smooth effect. With the top layer selected, I press the T key and set its opacity to 0 at the beginning and 100% at the end of the bottom layer. To remove the remaining particle effects in the background, I ensure that the dots on the bottom layer disappear as the top logo appears. I set the opacity of the bottom layer to 100% when it aligns with the left frame of the top layer. I click on this icon here, and a new keyframe is created. I hover over the keyframe on the right and set it to 0, and then a new keyframe appears. So, the dots at the bottom will disappear while the logo at the top will appear. And, in this case, these visibilities will change simultaneously. The logo appears at the same time the dots at the bottom disappear. We do this to enhance the animation. And there is one more little thing to pay attention to. When the logo appears, the dots in the background are outside the logo. We need to adjust this slightly. With the bottom sequence selected, I press the letter U on the keyboard. all the keyframes appear, and I move this keyframe slightly inward so that while the top logo is visible, the bottom explosion effect matches the size of the top logo. Let's create the zoom effect when the logo is forming. Let's enlarge the logo slightly. I go back to the top logo here. We can disable the keyframes at the bottom for now. When I'm at the first keyframe, I press the letter S. This reveals the scale property. I add a keyframe and advance 10 frames with Shift page down. I set the scale to 125% to make the logo a bit bigger. You can adjust the size of the logo to your liking. I select both keyframes and press F9 on the keyboard to smooth out the animation. I open the graphic editor and adjust it further, sharpening the animation slightly for a better look. Now I review this part again. Yes, as you can see, we get a softer effect. We can reduce these values slightly. For example, we can set this to 70 or 75 and try setting the other to 100. Our goal here is to merge the particles, explosion effects, and dots into a single, cohesive logo. One element is missing, motion blur. Since adding motion blur directly to the logo image won't be effective, we use the force motion blur effect instead. I apply this effect to the layer and adjust the settings. Settings the first value to 12 and the shutter value to 200. You will notice a subtle blur. Playing the clip should produce an effect similar to this. You can change this background to match the color of your logo. I right-click and create a new solid layer. I set its color to white. Placing this white layer at the bottom improves the effect, as you can see. If you wish to replace the logo, it is quite simple. Hover over the current logo, right-click, choose Replace Footage, and then click File. From there, select the new logo you want to use and click Import. As you can see, the logo changes immediately. Instead of starting from scratch each time, you can easily switch logos by following these steps. If the new logos have different dimensions, you will need to adjust their sizes to fit your workspace. For example, if the new logo is too small, you can scale it to match the original dimensions, perhaps setting it to 100% or 125% as in our initial example. The end result is a polished, professional-looking logo. Whether for a YouTube channel or another project, this method offers a great way to showcase your logo. That's all for this video. If today's video was useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Thank you for watching.